we're getting more and more into cryptos, and had a look at Litecoin this morning, and we're not 100% sure about the location, I think, but we were quite sure about the time.
Well, but I think before we begin, we should put in some disclaimers.
Yeah, but the disclaimers we put into writing under the video. Nobody wants to listen to that.
Okay, no.
I mean, this is not trading advice. It's just for your enjoyment,
entertainment,
and entertainment. We don't tell you where to buy or what to buy.
Yeah, and also it's unproven. You know, I mean, Vedic astrology has been proven before, but applying it on cryptos is uncharted territory.
It's a big experiment.
Yeah. So, with that spirit, let's look at Litecoin.
Yeah, I mean, it was very interesting for me because I have a lot of Litecoins, and interestingly, when Swami did not know either Charlie Lee or, I mean, he did not look at Litecoin before at all. So
actually, I know nothing about the cryptos. I just know astrology, and so basically, I'm pretty naive and ignorant about cryptos, but it's kind of interesting how to sort of look at it from just with a sort of unbiased view of looking at cryptos or these at Litecoin without knowing anything about it.
Exactly, yeah. So basically, a little bit like a technical trader would do without knowing any fundamentals.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I was quite surprised, and what he said to me in the morning, or like a few hours ago, and about Litecoin, and then I kind of considered what he said, and I actually had to agree with him that I had the same feeling about a year ago, and I bought into Litecoin, I think 2013 already, just after Bitcoin. So it's been a long run, and that's I leave it up to you to
describe what Litecoin is.
What you see about.
So if you remember when we talked about Bitcoin, and I had described Bitcoin as this very attractive, seductive, uncontrollable or unmanageable sexy woman, if I use that analogy for Bitcoin, the analogy I would use for Litecoin is a total like geek who is emotionless, expressionless, and it really focuses on fundamentals. So Litecoin would not be driven by erratic emotion. Litecoin is probably is going to be driven by fundamentals. I mean, people who want to buy into Litecoin will probably just buy it because they know the fundamentals really well, and that would propel them to invest in Litecoins, but it won't be driven by erratic or popular demand. So you find that, I mean, I find when I was studying, for instance, the stock market, that the stock market is not driven by fundamentals. It's driven by people's emotions. And Bitcoin is definitely driven by emotions. When we look at Litecoin, it's really not driven by, there's no emotions in it. It's just
it sounds to me a little bit like, could institutions be interested in Litecoin? Because they are rather emotionless.
Institutions and people who are just focused on fundamentals and not looking at the spikes.
So it's very unusual for cryptos. This sounds more like a commodities market description or something wheat futures or whatever.
And I mean, so basically it will, the way I look at it is that it will continue to grow, but it will just it will grow because of fundamentals, not because of other factors.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it did so in dollar terms the last year. It was kind of very steady. I mean, it was very flat after initial, so it shaped a very long U cup and handle thing, and now basically it's I mean, it popped recently. It's just the last few months.
So basically, if I just looked at it from the astrological point of view, is that Litecoin would sort of be very blah for many years. It started, I think, in 2011. It had a real, like, significant growth starting from September. I see mid-September here, 2017. and that's when it just like climbs. But then come December, and there's a reason why it climbed. You know, basically, if I can just mention a little bit of astrology speak here, is that Jupiter had a huge influence on its climb. Unfortunately, while Jupiter is influencing its climb, Saturn comes in right in December, and basically, astrologically speaking, mid-December it just comes in and puts on the brakes. And then that's when it starts sliding down. But there are also other factors that are playing into Litecoin, in the sense that starting from this month, basically early this year, and until sort of May, we might see that it will grow, but it won't grow substantially.
So these breaks that you talk about, are they also affecting Bitcoin and the other cryptos?
Yeah, well, to a certain extent, yes. I mean, there is what I would call it in you know, if we look at astrology, how it applies to individual, is that we have our own movements and our own luck, and our own fate, so to speak. But then there is the overall fate, which kind of plays. So the overall fate is applicable to all cryptocurrencies, and so you'll see that they'll all move up together and go down together. But then the individual ones will actually allow it the potentiality to either make it or, you know, not make it.
So that's that means Bitcoin is, I mean, the same Saturn influence is not on Bitcoin right now.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, because the chart is totally different.
And
but here with Litecoin, what happened is that all of the planets affect everything and all people at the same time. But some of them, they get the effect. With Litecoin, there was the Saturn breaks really put on have a tremendous effect. Yeah. So
that means Litecoin does it have a future at all? I mean, how many years can you?
It does.
Say it survives.
I don't know how long it will survive, but the thing is that I can tell you that basically it will do well this year and next year,
18 and 19.
and then continue, and then in 2020 it's going to experience a shakeup, which will actually, you find that for those 2 or 3 years it may not do as well.
Like after 2020?
2020 onwards, like spring, early spring or late winter, Litecoin might not do as well. With Litecoin this year, basically I think it will do quite well till mid or late May, but basically May it will continue to do well, and then from May to May, June, July, August, it may not do as well, and then basically you know, start. Actually, I don't see it doing well for the rest of the year until November.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And. So could that mean that, I mean, this is, speaking of emotions, I can really fully understand that, because I was definitely, I mean, I was not buying Litecoin because I was enthusiastic. I was basically buying Litecoin because a lot of people who were right about other coins, they basically were very bullish on Litecoin, like Cliff High, for instance. But it kind of went against my intuition to some degree. So that does not doom Litecoin yet, but I wonder if it's maybe really, as you said, it's kind of a cold, emotionally cold coin. Could that mean that despite all these emotions, there would be still a price increase because institutional, like very calculating, you know, hedge funds are maybe not so emotionless, but you know, like if it's always talked that this is a coin that will be big in for merchandise, like, you know, as a payment vehicle, contrary to most other cryptos, like you basically pay with Litecoin for your Amazon or purchases, and so there's less emotion involved because it's
Yeah,
more practical.
the way I would look, I mean, I'm just purely looking at it from the astrological perspective, is that yes, it will continue to do well over time. The only difference is that it won't do as well as, for instance, other tokens or other cryptos that will come up. The potentiality, theoretically, might be that it is fantastic because of its probably individual user perspective. But then on the end, just looking at it from the astrological perspective, it doesn't seem very, very attractive. Will it die? No. Will it do well? Yes, gradually. So we're looking at a gradual incremental increase. However, there are years when it won't do as well. So if you're doing a comparative analysis between Litecoin and other cryptos that's in the market, it's like, well, you know, maybe I should jump ship and, you know. I mean, personally, if I had to venture out and if I had coins, what I would do is basically at the end of May or end of May, pretty much like jump ship and look at other opportunities.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we measure this, or Swamiji measures this against mainly Bitcoin, I think.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin is, of course, the reserve currency of cryptos. And we had a brief look at Populus as well, so he was quite enthusiastic about that. But we have to clarify the dates first and then do another video about it.
By the way, Litecoin will do very well overall this year and next year. So we're talking about 2018 and 19, and that's why I say 2020 I don't see doing as well. But Litecoin will continue to do well in the next coming 2 years.
But it will not be a revolution. I mean, it's not.
No, no. I think there will be some other tokens or other means of currency exchange, which will be better than Litecoin.
Yeah, I mean, basically what Litecoin is it's a copy of Bitcoin that has been modified. I mean, it's not a SHA-256 encryption, but they have another encryption, and it did some things differently, and they're now developing this Lightning Network. So there is a lot of expectation and enthusiasm in some areas, but I feel maybe so far nothing comes out of it. Good.
Yeah, because basically, I mean, just to recap again, this year the potential is very good, next year the potential is good, but when you compare Litecoin with other coins, then maybe it's not doing as well.
Good, that I think was it regarding Litecoin.